Good afternoon, this is Freese-Notis meteorologist Joshua Seneschal. It is currently 4:40 on your Sunday afternoon, and I figured I'd provide a quick weather update looking at what will be a very dynamic storm system developing across the western Midwest on Tuesday that will shift north and east through the day on Wednesday, spreading the potential for some localized flooding, severe weather, and also a frost threat coming up towards the weekend. So let's initially take a look at the frost threat for later this week. And what we're looking at right here, this is last night's European model. This is the forecast for minimum temperatures on Friday morning. And as we can see, the area outlined in that red color indicates temperatures at or below freezing. And right now, it looks like the best frost threat on Friday morning, according to the European model, is going to be across the western areas of North and South Dakota, northwest Nebraska, and also a significant portion of Montana and Wyoming. Now, it's worth noting the GFS model is faster. It does have, it's also a little bit colder. It has coldest temperatures a little bit farther east on Friday morning, which would imply a little bit of a more significant frost threat across central and eastern portions of the Dakotas. However, I'm going to favor the warmer and slower European guidance at this time, and right now, that's why Friday morning, I'm kind of focusing on the frost potential across portions of the northern plains. It does look like most of the Midwest will be above 40 Friday morning. I think we're still going to have some gusty winds, even a little residual cloud cover. That is going to limit how effectively we radiate Friday morning. And really, in order to have a frost across the Midwest this early in the year, everything has to come together. Clear skies, light winds, it needs to be perfect conditions. And Friday morning, some of these conditions will be in place across the western portions of the northern plains. But Friday morning across the Midwest, I just don't see it happening. And this is just a look at some of the model discrepancies we have going on right now. This is a look at what the GFS model is thinking our surface pressure field will look like on Friday morning. Notice high pressure center right over South Dakota. This would apply a greater frost threat across some of the corn and bean areas of North and South Dakota. However, look at the European model. That high is much farther west. We see a pretty strong pressure gradient across the Dakotas and western Minnesota. That would mean we'll still have some gusty winds Friday morning. Gusty winds will negate the probability or the chance we have a frost, and that's why Friday morning I'm kind of honing in on the western portions of the northern plains for that frost threat. Now, as we head into Saturday morning, that area of high pressure is going to shift eastward. It should center right over the western Midwest. We should have clear skies and light winds. However, temperatures aloft are not going to be very supportive of a frost. This is what the European model thinks we'll see for minimum temperatures Saturday morning. Notice many areas at or below 40. We do have a few pockets at or below 35 across western Minnesota. However, most areas are going to be above freezing. This is the guidance I favor. The GFS is considerably colder. It does have areas at or below freezing across northeast Iowa, southeast Minnesota, and western Wisconsin. However, that's the coldest solution right now. I'm sticking with the European, and as a result, my forecast for Saturday morning is a few areas getting down into lower to middle 30s, especially northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, western Wisconsin. However, the chance for areas getting below 32 is quite low. It is also worth noting, this is the latest European ensemble, just came out a couple hours ago. And this is the forecast for the probability of 2-meter temperatures below freezing. Notice, less than 10% chance across the upper Midwest. And this is one of the reasons why I do not favor a widespread frost threat on Saturday morning. We do have some high probabilities across areas of the northern plains. That would be for Friday morning, and that's kind of where I was honing in on the western Dakotas, Montana, and Wyoming. However, Saturday morning, not so much for the Midwest. So, with that being said, we also have many other things to talk about. Heavy rain threat Tuesday evening into Wednesday. We're going to have an explosively intensifying area of low pressure developing across central western Iowa Tuesday afternoon and evening. That will translate north and eastward into Wisconsin overnight Tuesday through Wednesday, lifting into Canada Wednesday into Thursday. And this is a look at the forecast rainfall from the afternoon European ensemble, and we're seeing a few pockets of 1 to 2 inches, especially across northeast Iowa. Fortunately, northeast Iowa has seen some of the lighter rainfall amounts the past several weeks. If this heavier rain chance shifts a little bit farther south into southern Iowa, I think we are going to have a bit of a more significant heavier rain threat. Des Moines saw over 11 inches of rain for the month of August. We have a lot of saturated soils in southern Iowa, and I do think that there will be some isolated flooding potential here. It could be more widespread again if some of these heavy rains shift a little bit farther south. Now, in addition to heavy rain, we're going to have some severe weather to contend with. This is a look at the Day 3 convective forecast from the Storm Prediction Center. Notice a slight risk for severe weather is in place across a good portion of the western Corn Belt. Again, this is for Tuesday morning through early Wednesday morning. And looks like we could see some pockets of damaging wind, large hail, even a few isolated tornadoes do seem possible, especially across southern Iowa during the day on Tuesday. And as this low pressure center intensifies, moves eastward on Wednesday, so will the severe weather threat. It looks like portions of the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes region could see a severe weather threat during the day on Wednesday. So plenty to talk about. Again, heavy rain threat Tuesday into Wednesday across portions of the western Midwest, severe weather threat Tuesday and Wednesday from west to east, and also a patchy frost threat later Friday and into Saturday. Now we should have more details coming up in the next coming days as we get more data in from our computer models. Make sure to check our Twitter feed at Freese-Notis WX, where we're going to be posting plenty of weather information throughout the week. And we'll also have some more information, of course, about the frost potential. Thank you for listening, and have a great